Hello and welcome back. I've been a bit ill recently, so I'm afraid my voice is a little bit affected. I'm a lot better now, but I'm still a bit croaky, so apologies in advance. But I hope you'll enjoy watching me paint this scene and that you'll give something similar a try. I've used a lovely photograph from Pixabay as inspiration, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link to the Pixabay photograph in the description below. As always, I'm starting off by simplifying the scene and sketching it out very, very loosely onto the page, just placing the main elements, keeping it very loose, trying not to get too detailed. And today I'm using Saunders Waterford rough texture paper. It's taped to my board, and my board's at an angle of about 20 to 30 degrees. I'll be using the wet in wet technique, so I'll be starting off with the sky and wetting the whole sky with my large wash brush, which is a Princeton Neptune Aqua Elite brush. But use any wash brush. And then I'll be painting my sky with a mixture of ultramarine blue, sky blue, and then I'll be going in with a little bit of burnt sienna to create some clouds. That's my sky done, so now moving on to the land, and I've taken some sap green, desaturated it with a little bit of burnt sienna and a bit of Payne's grey, and I'll paint the land using the wet on dry technique. So the paper is dry, and dragging the paint across the page, getting some nice dry brush sparkle, building up the fields, and then I'll put in the path with some desaturated raw sienna. Now I'm using my palette knife to create some texture and some highlights. Just scraping out a few fence posts. And now I've dipped into some pale value sap green, and then I'll dip into a little bit of the same pale value burnt sienna and get those trees started off just using the corner of my mottler brush. And then once I'm happy with those, I'll take some lemon yellow for the canola field, that lovely bright colour. I shall bring some of this colour across the rest of the landscape as a glaze towards the end to tie everything together. And now it's just a matter of carrying on and bringing a little bit of clarity to the scene, bringing it together. I need to paint in my trees, the trunks and the branches, and I need to add detail to the fences and just add some more overall detail, something and nothing here and there. And continuing to use the number 2 rigger to add some value around the foreground, around the path borders and the fences. just darkening up those tree trunks below the canopies with a mixture of Payne's Grey, burnt sienna and a touch of ultramarine. And then I'll work into the fence posts and put the wires between the fence posts throughout the scene. And the next stage is to just bring the painting together with a few final details. So I want a distant tree line. I'm putting this in with a number 14 round. Just keeping it as a very gentle shape so it just brings the painting together and doesn't stand out too much. Making sure I go behind the trees too. And then finally, I'm going to mix up a light mix of my lemon yellow, light value. I'm going to glaze it across the fields and the path, I think. But I'll do the fields first, just to warm things up. Working quickly and lightly so I don't disturb the layer underneath. And it just brings that summery glow to everything. And I think it sort of brings out the impression of maybe some yellow dandelions and flowers growing in the field. Then I can introduce a little bit of this lovely fresh colour with the lemon yellow, a little bit of sap green, but introducing that around the edges of the trees just to brighten and freshen up those greens. Removing the tape helps me to see how it looks with a clean white border and with fresh eyes. I'm quite pleased with this. For a nice simple scene, I think I'm going to, just before the field glaze dries, use my palette knife and just scrape a little bit of texture across the field. And I think that just finishes it off really nicely. I'm really liking the freshness that the lemon yellow brings to this distinctively bright canola field, and the way that the glaze using lemon yellow has just woken up the rest of the landscape and given it that lovely late spring, early summer vibe. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it helpful. Please leave us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And many thanks to all our wonderful supporters on Patreon. I'll see you again soon. Take care and happy painting. Bye.